Half reps are the solution. Sometimes when I'm working out, someone will come up to me and ask me why I'm not doing full range of motion on an exercise. And if you post your exercises on the internet, then the range of motion police will definitely be questioning you. And full range of motion of training is good, but there are a lot of benefits to not training full range of motion. The first benefit of partial range of motion training is that you maintain tension on the muscle. You don't go to either end of the range of motion where the tension drops. It's very well known that a muscle's time under tension is going to drive growth. In terms of trying to build muscle and put on size, some exercises have actually shown to respond better to partial ranges of motion. For example, an exercise like the skull crusher, which targets the tricep, is done in an overhead extended position. And when you get to the top of the movement and your arm is straight, all tension on the muscle is lost. So it's been shown to be beneficial to maintain a range of motion where you're maintaining tension. And this brings me on to my next point. You can focus on the muscle at longer lengths. It's been shown in studies that when training a muscle at longer lengths, when the muscle is stretched, leads to greater gains. So again, we can take the exercise skull crusher. Like I said, it's in an overhead position where the arm is stretched out. So this puts the triceps on a stretch. And by training the muscle in this stretch position can lead to greater growth. In this stretched position, when the muscle is lengthened, we can also produce more force. So if we're doing weight training, we can load the exercise heavier than we usually would. Now this takes me on to point number 3. Like I said, we can produce more force at longer muscle lengths. So sometimes when we do a full range of motion exercise, we have to cut short because we don't have any energy. But in the longer range of motion, sometimes we still have energy. Take a bent over row, for example. If you do 10 reps and that's your max, sometimes you can do another 3 to 5 reps in the bottom range of motion. You're not getting the full contraction all the way to the top, but you're training the muscle at its longer length. If your muscle still has the capacity to lift the weight to some degree, then you should finish off the exercise. That's going to lead to greater gains. And that leads me on to the next benefit of partial range of motion training. We can still train close to failure, which is going to be the most important factor when we're trying to build muscle. Like I said, we can do 10 reps at a full range of motion, but we haven't truly gone to failure. To truly go to failure, we can do another 5 reps in that bottom range of motion where the muscle is at a longer length. When doing partial range of motion, you can still go close to failure as you're going to be maintaining tension on the muscle. Of course, if you're doing a partial range of motion as opposed to a full range of motion, you're probably going to be able to do more reps, or you're going to be able to lift a heavier load. But the end result is still the same. You're still going to be going close to failure to drive the muscle growth. And the last benefit of partial range of motion training is explosiveness. If you're an athlete or do a sport or want to train for a specific movement, it's good to do a partial range of motion to increase your power and explosiveness. In that partial range of motion, you're able to produce more force, which is likely to be specific to the movement that you're trying to improve. Take jumping, for example. As opposed to performing a full range of motion squat, you can perform a quarter squat because the movement is going to mimic the skill that you're trying to improve. When doing a partial range of motion, you're stronger, so you can load the exercise heavier, or you can complete the movement with more power and explosiveness. So there are very good reasons for doing half reps, and you can still get a lot of benefit from partial range of motion training. I also like to do partial range of motion training because of all these benefits, and also because I can get it done quicker. You can call me lazy, but I enjoy it. I hope this video helps. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.